Have you ever wondered how your unconscious mind influences your everyday decisions and behaviors? If this question intrigues you, then you have entered the realm of Sigmund Freud's theories. It's impossible to talk about psychology without acknowledging the monumental influence of Sigmund Freud. Born on a fine spring day in May 1856 in the quaint town of Freiburg, Moravia, now part of the Czech Republic, Freud was an Austrian neurologist who would go on to lay the foundation stones of psychoanalysis. His theories were radical, controversial, and yet they have shaped our understanding of the human mind in ways few others have. Freud's genius lay in his ability to dissect the human psyche into three distinct parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. The ID, according to Freud, is the primitive, instinctual part of our psyche. It's the primal scream within us, the unfiltered desires that drive our actions. The ego, on the other hand, is our rational, conscious self. It's the voice of reason that balances the ID's primal urges with the realities of the world. And then there's the superego, the moral compass that guides us, the voice within that whispers what's right and what's wrong. These concepts might seem abstract, but their implications are profound. They influence how we perceive ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we navigate through the complexities of life. And yet, this is just the tip of the Freudian iceberg. Freud also proposed the concept of the Oedipus complex, a theory that has sparked countless debates and controversies. He believed that this complex, a child's unconscious sexual desire for their opposite-sex parent and jealousy towards their same-sex parent, was a universal phenomenon and a key component of human development. Freud's theories have been both lauded and criticized. They've been dissected, discussed, and debated. They've influenced not just the field of psychology, but also literature, art, and popular culture. But no matter what one's opinion might be, the impact of Freud's work is undeniable. Now let us delve deeper into the life of Sigmund Freud and the birth of his revolutionary theories. Sigmund Freud, born on May 6, 1856 in Freiburg, Moravia, embarked on a journey that would change the course of psychology. Nestled in the heart of what is now the Czech Republic, young Freud's curiosity was sparked in this humble town. He was a bright child, showing an early aptitude for learning that led him to the University of Vienna at the age of 17. There, he studied medicine, but it was neurology that truly captured his interest. This passion led him down a path of discovery, diving deep into the complexities of the human mind. His relentless pursuit of knowledge, paired with his innovative thinking, would eventually give birth to a whole new field of study: psychoanalysis. Freud's education wasn't just about learning from books. It was about asking questions, probing the unknown, and daring to challenge the norms. Little did he know, his fascination with the human mind would lay the foundation for a new understanding of human behavior. As psychoanalysis, a term synonymous with Freud, was not just a theory, but a revolution in understanding the human mind. This groundbreaking approach was born out of Freud's desire to penetrate the depths of the human psyche, to uncover the hidden unconscious forces that drive our actions and shape our perceptions. Psychoanalysis, in its essence, is a clinical method for treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalyst. In sharp contrast to the prevailing methods of treating mental illness at the time, which often involved physical interventions, Freud's approach was centered on conversation and introspection. It was an innovative method that emphasized the importance of the spoken word, of expressing thoughts and feelings, of giving voice to the silent whispers of the unconscious mind. Freud believed that mental disorders were not solely the result of physical abnormalities, but were deeply rooted in unresolved conflicts lurking in the unconscious. He proposed that through the process of free association, where patients are encouraged to speak freely about whatever comes to mind, these hidden conflicts could be brought to the surface and addressed. This was a significant departure from the prevailing treatments of the time. It shifted the focus from treating the symptoms of mental illness to understanding its underlying causes. It was a radical concept, suggesting that the key to healing lay not in the body, but in the mind. Psychoanalysis also introduced the notion of transference, the process by which patients project their feelings about significant people in their lives onto the psychoanalyst. Freud believed that this was a crucial part of the therapeutic process, providing insight into the patient's interpersonal relationships and unresolved conflicts. Psychoanalysis was not just a theory, but a revolution. It challenged the medical establishment, it questioned societal norms, and it transformed our understanding of the human mind. It was a pioneering approach that has left a lasting legacy in the field of psychology. Psychoanalysis opened up a new avenue for treating mental illness, focusing on understanding the patient's unconscious mind. It marked a shift in perspective, a change in attitude, and a leap forward in our quest to comprehend the complexities of the human psyche. Freud's theories about the human mind were groundbreaking. He proposed that our psyche is divided into three parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. First, let's delve into the ID. This is the primitive part of our mind, the place where our basic instincts and desires reside. It's impulsive, seeking immediate satisfaction. Imagine a newborn baby crying for food or comfort. That's the ID in action. It operates on the pleasure principle, which is all about avoiding pain and seeking pleasure, with no regard for reality or consequences. Next, we have the ego. This is the part of our psyche that deals with the realities of the world. It's the rational and conscious part of our mind. The ego works on the reality principle, striving to satisfy the ID's desires in a socially acceptable and realistic way. Think of it as the mediator between the impulsive ID and the moralistic superego. Lastly, we have the superego. This part of the psyche embodies our moral compass. It's all about right and wrong, influenced heavily by societal norms and values. It strives for perfection and judges our actions. If you've ever felt guilty or proud about something you've done, that's your superego at work. Now, these three parts of the psyche don't exist in isolation. They're in a constant dance with one another, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. The ego, acting as the mediator, often finds itself in a tug-of-war between the ID's impulsive desires and the superego's moral high ground. For example, if you've ever been tempted to eat a whole chocolate cake but decided to have just a slice instead, that's your ego negotiating between your ID, which wants the whole cake, and your superego, reminding you of the health consequences of eating too much sugar. These three parts of the psyche, according to Freud, are in a constant state of conflict and negotiation, influencing our decisions and actions. One of Freud's most controversial theories is the Oedipus complex, a theory that has sparked debates and discussions. This theory, named after the Greek mythological figure Oedipus, describes a developmental phase in which a child harbors unconscious sexual desires for their opposite-sex parent and feels rivalry with their same-sex parent. Freud believed that this complex was a universal phenomenon and a key component of human development. According to Freud, the Oedipus complex emerges during the phallic stage of psychosexual development, typically between the ages of 3 and 6. The child becomes fixated on the opposite-sex parent and perceives the same-sex parent as a competitor for affection. It's a stage where the seeds of complex adult behaviors are planted, from competition and rivalry to desire and affection. Yet, the Oedipus complex has been a hotbed of controversy since its inception. Some critics argue that Freud's theory is overly centered on sexual themes, reducing the multifaceted nature of human development to a mere sexual issue. Others suggest that the Oedipus complex is a product of Freud's own cultural and historical context, and it does not hold universal applicability. Moreover, feminist scholars have posed their own critique, arguing that Freud's theories, including the Oedipus complex, are inherently patriarchal and fail to adequately represent the female experience. This led to the introduction of the Electra complex, a counterpart for girls, which has been met with similar controversies. Despite these criticisms, it's important to note that Freud's theories have significantly influenced the field of psychology. While the Oedipus complex might not be universally accepted, it has provoked important discussions about the nature of human development, the role of unconscious desires, and the dynamics of family relationships. Freud's theories, including the Oedipus complex, have also found their way into other disciplines, from literature to cultural studies, shaping our understanding of human behavior and cultural phenomena. Despite the controversies, the Oedipus complex remains an integral part of Freud's theory and continues to influence discussions in psychology. Freud's theories have had a profound impact on psychology and beyond, influencing literature, art, and popular culture. His concept of the unconscious mind has become a cornerstone in understanding human behavior, with his ideas permeating not only the realm of psychology, but also shaping our interpretation of literary texts, inspiring artistic representations, and influencing philosophical discourse. Take, for instance, the ID, ego, and superego, Freud's tripartite model of the human psyche. These concepts have found their way into everyday language, helping us to articulate complex internal conflicts and moral dilemmas. Similarly, His idea of the Oedipus complex continues to spark discussions about childhood development and familial relationships. Even in the face of criticism and controversy, Freud's theories retain their relevance. They continue to inspire new lines of thought, provoke debates, and guide therapeutic practices. As we conclude, remember, Freud's theories, whether you agree with them or not, have undeniably shaped our understanding of the human mind and continue to do so even today.